And some of these people that buzz around Berry Gordy made him the monster that he is or was or whatever. I don't think he is a monster anymore because he's like 97. He can't, I mean, he ain't got the, I mean, there ain't enough Viagra pills in the world to make him a monster. Now. Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's talk about Call Her Miss Ross, the unauthorized biography of Diana Ross by our dude, JRT. In an interview a few years later, Diana mentioned that it seemed to her that Bob had a problem with someone accidentally calling him Mr. Ross. Why wouldn't he have a problem with that? I mean, goddamn, wasn't Bobby Brown mad when people would call him Mr. Houston? But you knew people were saying that just to be mean. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was a dude, you know, I'm not going to let some reporter come along and say anything to me and move me. You know what I'm saying? I know you're doing that just to get on my nerves right now, so I'm not going to give it to you. You know, I'm not going to give you that emotion that I know you want. That's not going to happen. I don't think he admitted it, but I think finally it did get to him. It's just something that it's not fun. When asked if that's what broke up the marriage, she said, I think so. In March 1977, after Diana's divorce became final, she starred in a one-woman 90-minute television special for NBC using her nightclub act as a focal point for the show. The highlight of the special was a sequence in which she portrayed Billie Holiday, Bessie Smith, and Josephine Baker. Shortly thereafter, Diana was off to Gainesville, India to visit the guru. By mid-1977, Motown had acquired the hit Broadway musical The Wiz as a film property through a production deal with Universal. The Wiz, an all-black fantasy conceived by Ken Harper and Charlie Smalls, is based on L. Frank Baum's classic The Wizard of Oz, which had already been adapted to a variety of stage and film versions, the most notable, of course, being the Judy Garland classic of 1939. In the Broadway show, the role of Dorothy went to Stephanie Mills. Barely a teenager at the time, Suzanne DePass was so impressed with her that she signed her to the label. Mills had no success at Motown. So let me tell you the great group of all of this, okay? So Suzanne DePass seen her in The Wiz, right? Oh, I love this little girl. I love this, what's the little girl? Simone Biles. I love this little girl, okay? But you know, if Stephanie Mills wasn't a singer, I swear to the Jesus that she could have been a gymnast. Because you know them gymnasts be real teeny. I mean real teeny, like, and muscular. Like, don't get mad at me for telling y'all the goddamn truth, okay? Don't get mad at me. Suzanne DePass, her people go see The Wiz. They like, oh my gosh, I'm impressed by this little girl. Let's bring her over to Motown. She ain't had no success over there. Not only did she not have any success over there, but they shizzed on her by not giving her the actual role that she played and gave it to Diana. But let me tell you something. Y'all better catch this tea. You hear me? You thought that it was Barry the Gordy idea to put Diana Ross as Dorothy. Answer no. Answer no. Come catch this tea, baby. Motown's Wiz project began to take shape in 1975 when Rob Cohen and director John Badham enjoyed the play in New York while casting Badham's Motown film Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Stars. Do you know that is one of my most favorite movies? I love that movie, but it is so friggin' underrated. I don't know if public schools ever had to do this. I'm not sure. But in private school, what happens was you had to do a science project every year. And you had to do a Black History project every year. Okay. This particular year, I did Josh Gibson because my mom had took me to see Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Stars. And I was so entranced by the Negro Baseball League, or was it the Baseball Negro League, whatever it is, that I wanted to continue and research, and do more and learn more about Black baseball players. Okay. Man, that Josh Gibson book, man, it was heavy. So now that I'm learning this, that the same guy that did Bingo and the Traveling All-Stars also did The Wiz is astounding, because it makes sense. Because if you think about it, a lot of the players from Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Stars ended up in The Wiz, like Ted Ross. I think Mabel King was in Bingo Long too. Can any of you guys think of any people that was in the Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Star movie who ended up in The Wiz? Oh, you know who else it was? Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was in there, and he was in The Wiz. So it makes just so much sense now. My two favorite movies by the same guy. I get it. Cohen felt that The Wiz could be successfully adapted to the screen, and in May 1976, he and Universal negotiated with Ken Hopper for the screen rights. The Motown Universal production was announced to the film industry in July. The concept was to surround an unknown Dorothy with big-name stars playing the other characters. Stephanie Mills was campaigning for the role. Again, I'm lost as to why Stephanie Mills has to campaign for a friggin' role that's already hers. Diana first heard of Motown's plans over dinner with Suzanne DePaz. When actor Ted Ross joined them, you know Ted Ross. Say what you wanna, but I'm here to stay, 'cause I'm a mean old line. Dun, 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 dun. You can go where you wanna, but don't get in my way, 'cause I'm a mean old line. Dun, 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 dun. Don't play with me when it comes down to the Wiz. Ross and DePaz enthusiastically discussed the upcoming venture, in which he had already been cast to repeat his stage role as the Lion. Oh, I didn't know that. Diana was immediately interested. Here was a Motown film, and she hadn't been asked to be a part of it. She had seen The Wiz twice on Broadway. Darn, I would love to be Dorothy, Diana said to Suzanne. DePaz told her that it probably wasn't possible. It was such a small budgeted film, and quickly changed the subject. Barry, I want to play Dorothy, she said. Who is this? It's Diane. I want to play Dorothy in The Wiz, she repeated. Have you been drinking? Of course not. I've been watching The Wizard of Oz, and I had this dream or something about being Dorothy and ... Forget it. What are you, nuts? You're too old to be any damn Dorothy. Now go to sleep. And with that, he hung up on her. Diana may have thought that Barry completely dismissed her idea, but he had too much confidence in her instincts to disregard the phone call. He called Rob Cohen. It was 4 a.m. The phone rang and I jumped awake, my heart beating wildly, Cohen recalled, because I knew it was Barry and I knew something was up. It was his first secretary, Edna, telling me to please hold. So I held for 15 minutes laying in the dark while Barry did business with someone else on the other line. I swear to God, the man never slept. Of course, moneymakers don't sleep. You can't afford to sleep. Okay? If you go to sleep, then you might miss an opportunity to steal money from somebody. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Sleep? Nigga, no. And some of these people that buzz around Barry Gordy made him the monster that he is or was or whatever. I don't think he is a monster anymore because he's like 97. He can't, I mean, he ain't even got there ain't enough Viagra pills in the world to make him a monster. Now, suddenly Barry got on the line. No hellos, just straight to business. Man, I was on the phone with Diane a second ago. Rob recalled Barry as having said, and she had a dream or something that she played Dorothy in The Wiz. So what do you think about her? The thought of casting Diana in this film had never occurred to Rob, but he didn't have to think too long to make a decision about it. There are a lot of reasons why this is wrong, he said carefully. There's only one reason that it's right. What's that? Universal will pay her $1 million to do it, Rob replied, and it'll mean getting this movie made. Rob said that he spent the rest of the night pacing at 6 a.m. He started making phone calls, and after not very much negotiation, Tom Mount, one of the executives in charge of The Wiz at Universal, told Rob that the powers that be at the company would be interested in having Diana do the film, and that Universal would in fact pay her $1 million to do it. Rob then called John Badham and asked how he would feel about directing Diana Ross in this film. Badham said he thought it was a terrible idea and he wouldn't have anything to do with it. Is you niggas crazy? You want to change the Wizard of Oz? First of all, you're making it black, okay? That's the first thing that ain't gonna go, okay, or fly. All right, that's the first thing, okay? The second thing is you're going to change the whole concept from a little girl trying to find her way to a grown-ass woman trying to find her way? Barry still felt that this would be a mistake. He saw nothing in this role for Diana. The more he denied her, the more she hungered for it. But you are just too old, he told her. He did not yet tell her about the $1 million offer. Of course he ain't going to tell her, because he got to steal it first, okay? How the hell he got to steal that money, girl? Didn't I tell you thieves don't sleep? I am not too old for that role, she insisted. She became more determined than ever. It's ageless. It's right for my career. Barry then apparently washed his hands of the whole matter. It would be the breaking point in his and Diana's professional relationship. The first major project in which she would be involved without him. He knew she was cutting her ties with him and that there was no holding her back. The Wiz was budgeted as a small film, no big problem for anyone. Once turned into a star vehicle for Diana Ross, it became a big problem for everyone.
Say hello, black hole. Say hello. Hey, I say hello. See this brother winning, man. Hey, hey, look, what is your win, babe? What is your win, babe? What is your win, babe? Kansas City. What the fuck? What is your win, babe? Uptown, Southside, let's rock. Let's rock.
Now, if you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Now, remember this. The same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My naysayers, my patron loves. You babies, y'all better have a good one. Peace.